I've been involved in our local Kauai Independent Food Bank. I was president there for about 3 years, and really, that's something that really near and dear to my heart is to make sure that people have food. I don't care what your problem is, why you're there, why you need the food. Just get the food and make sure that it's good.
Hello to my Courage, Confidence, and Connections podcast fans. This is Janice Devo, your host, in a hat today, and I shall explain that. I don't usually have one on, as you know, if you've watched many of my podcasts. But today, my guest is Donna King, 360 Balanced Living. I think I got that right. And she is in Hawaii. And so I thought, well, what better thing to do than put on an island hat during the podcast. I can pretend, even though I'm in Oregon, we're not that far away, just a notion, just a notion. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here today from sunny Hawaii.
Oh, it didn't sound like it. Oh, it is sunny, right? It's just hot and humid.
Hot and humid, very hot and humid today.
Oh, what kind of temperatures do you get this time of year?
I think we're going to hit like low 80s, but it's the humidity
Yeah.
that kills people. It feels like, other people that when they're in their 90s, 95s, it's very humid. But we have this big blue thing that we're surrounded by that all you have to do is walk out into it and cool off. So we don't complain about the weather.
No kidding. Yeah, I'm from North Carolina, so I'm familiar with all that humidity stuff. Yes, yes. Well, what I want to do is just have you chat about who you are. We've already revealed where you live, but let's talk about Donna and some fun facts to start with.
Okay. We moved to the island of Kauai about 8.5 years ago. We came here on hey, let's try it. Let's see. My
Mm.
husband's company said, we like remote workers. And we were like, we like to be remote. So we tried it and we bought the house that we're in now. And we've been here since then. We love it. It's very fun. Fun because it's got a lot of outdoor activities type things, snorkeling and hiking and swimming. And, I mean, you haven't done water aerobics until you've done them in the ocean. That's completely different, when you've got the waves coming at you.
Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine how hard that must be.
Build your core muscles much faster.
No kidding. Do you run classes or you just
No,
attend?
I just take them. I just go and take them. Yeah. Yeah, there's a local woman that likes to do that. And so we do it with her. And there's probably anywhere from like 15 to there's been up to like 40 people there at a time. So it's kind of interesting to see. So it's fun. And
Oh,
then,
I can imagine. Mhm.
yeah. I've been involved in our local Kauai Independent Food Bank. I was president there for about 3 years. And really, that's something that really near and dear to my heart is to make sure that people have food. I don't care what your problem is, why you're there, why you need the food, just get the food and make sure that it's good. I was all through COVID, we were making sure we did distributions and worked with the hotels. And because hotels, pretty much all their people were out of work. They were, done for. Pretty much everything shut down here on the island. Almost everything shut down. You couldn't get here and couldn't stay here for a while. And
Wow.
for well, I have a pretty blue Jeep, which is actually pretty much the color of this. If you can tell, it's my color, I guess. We call her Miss Moana because her color is called deep blue, deep ocean blue, and that's what Moana means. So we go up into the mountains and the trails and stuff, and go do some jeeping up there. So I belong to the club here, and I don't know. We just have fun. We like to have fun. My husband's in the band. We go to the band stuff.
Oh, that's fantastic. What does he
Mhm.
play?
He's a bass player. Yeah, he's really, really good. And I don't know, we just go and have fun. He's with a few bands here on island, which is very here on island. One person is probably involved in many things all over the place because there's only so many of us that live here.
How big is the island?
I think, don't quote me, but I think it's about 42 miles square.
Oh, that is not very big.
It's not very big at all. Yeah, we have one road that goes like if you look at a clock, it goes from probably 12:30 to probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. That's the only road that goes around. And you can get up to 50 miles an hour. I think there's three, maybe four spots you can do that. Otherwise, it's between 25 and 35. So it takes a while to get there. And then when you have all the tourists on island, there's even more cars. And they're not trying to get anywhere. So they're
Yeah.
they're much slower and looking and things. So it's, if you live in a tourist area, you know what that's like.
Yes, there's the Bend, Oregon, not that far down the road, is very much a resort tourist area.
Mhm.
Yes, I don't like getting on the highway in that area and during the peak times. So I get it. I
I
get
laugh when people say here, well, it's off season. I'm like, I haven't found one yet. When is the off season? There are much higher seasons, school vacations are really big, but
it.
otherwise it's pretty much all the time. We're filled with tourists all the time. So
What's your favorite activity?
um probably the ocean, just going into the ocean, doing the snorkeling, or just what my husband and I do. We'll just like get in the car, we'll drive up, hit the beach, drop our stuff, and just walk right in and hang in the waves. You just like, it is the most relaxing thing. It just releases everything that's in you, all the heat, number one, but
Yeah.
also anything from the day, frustration or whatever's been going on. You just walk in, and just the undulation of the waves just back and forth. And so it's just so relaxing. And sometimes we'll snorkel for a while and see what's out there, see what's going on, go hang with the turtles.
Do you guys scuba dive?
We do not. No. Donna doesn't like really high places. So that's my problem with scuba diving. I don't even like it when we get over to like where the canyon drops off and you're like, nope, back up. I want to be over stuff.
I can understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
I interviewed somebody the other day that they do skydiving.
Oh
And
God.
the whole family. I'm not kidding. Matter of fact, it's probably the episode before this one. And it's an interesting story. But yeah, we talk about heights. We're talking 10,000 feet, oxygen and all that stuff.
Yeah. No desire. Although I'm like, I've always been deathly afraid of heights. Just me. And we started playing, the VR goggles. Well, my husband and I both have a set, and my son and his girlfriend have a set. And so we started we played mini golf actually most of the time. And a lot of them, they land you like on these peaks, and I would freak out. I mean, I had a really hard time in the beginning. My husband would have to come in and put my headset on and fly like way up to get the extra thing to get the special putter. Now I'm like, you guys look at him, I'm hanging out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really been helpful.
Oh, I've never ever had one of those goggles on. It'd be fun to try.
Oh, they're great. I love it. We have more fun. And it's a good way to stay in contact. You know what I mean? Because he lived in Colorado when we first started doing it. And then he moved up to Wyoming. And so it was still good. And now he lives in Washington State, more
Oh,
close to the ocean. And so we still get on and do it, but not as frequently because we're all more busy. And plus, the girlfriend. So
yeah, that'll preoccupy him.
yeah, she plays too, but she's busy, and so it's trying to get everybody scheduled together now. But yeah, it's just been wonderful. I mean, it's great to keep our family together, and because you talk the whole time. You're just goofing around and talking. And it's like you're there, and everybody has their avatar, so you make it look like what you think you want to look like, or
Oh,
you can put on different outfits and things like that. So it's
yeah.
fun. It's a good connection for all of us to keep us all together, and we like it.
Oh, that's great. And
Mhm.
I love hearing about your food bank work. Do you still do that?
I don't work directly with them anymore, but matter of fact, this weekend they're having, my husband's band is putting on an all day music event, with, I think there's 5 or 6 different bands that are going to be there. And so it's a free, but but it's a fundraiser for the food bank. So people will bring food and they'll bring money, and, so it'll be good.
That's fantastic. It really
Mhm.
is, because that's really important, especially in these times. And I don't even like to talk about the grocery bills, so we won't go there. It's
Yeah.
it's just me and my cat, and it's amazing how much that's changed. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
if your pay hasn't gone up, think
right.
about, I mean, like I was talking to one guy, and he was saying this was, man, coming out of COVID, and everything was just starting to rise. So it's not even been the last couple of years. I'm sure it's even worse. He said, I used to be able to take $100, go to the grocery store and feed my family of 4, and a few snacks and a few special treat things. He said, now I'm putting like $25 on a credit card. And I'm like, oh my God, that is not going to be That's not sustainable. Every week you're adding $25. So there's $100. Well, if you can't pay for it when you go for your groceries, when are you going to pay for it? So it's just this snowball thing that
Yeah.
it was just scary. I'm like, please, please, please make sure you come here and get more food than if you need it. Don't put it on a credit card. Come to the food bank and get your food, you know?
Yeah. Well, I have to ask, what started you down the road of working and being involved in that project?
With the food bank.
Hmm.
Um, Actually a woman that I met here. We're talking, and she actually started the food bank. She was doing it, and after Aniki came in, and she was telling me that, from meeting me and knowing about me and who I am and things, and she's like, we really need you on the board. We need people like you that are very direct and more boots on the ground. That was when I was president, that's the way it was. It was boots on the ground. This is not vanity board. It's not just you get a little fancy title with your plaque that says, oh, I'm on the food bank board. No, you come and you do, and what are you doing for the food bank to make it be, viable? And we had a wonderful operations manager. He was just great. He just did so much work and worked so hard and trained his crews and everything. So food has always been near and dear to me. People not having food has always been, I don't understand it. The country that we live in is so rich, and there's people in this country and have been for decades, starving, and there's no reason for it. So
Yeah.
that's why I got involved in it, because if there's anything I can do to help somebody else get food and make sure the word is out, then let's do it. Let's do everything we can.
That is so important and so vital. I've been in situations where I could scrape a couple nickels together to get a candy bar or an apple or something like that. I've been through that, and you're so hungry, you don't know what you're going to do. It's, I appreciate your compassion to help people that are in trouble and difficult situations and such.
I
So,
mean, if you're hungry, how can you work? You know what I mean? No, I mean, you hold down a job probably, or you're trying to do things, and or kids going to school, kids that are hungry. Why are they hungry?
right.
And sometimes you have parents that their kids are not their first concern. So the school may have a free breakfast, but they don't get signed up for it, or they don't get them to the school on time. And it's a lot of community outreach that needs more and more and more to be done, and take away the freaking stigma, right? Why is there a stigma? Because I don't have food. That doesn't make me a bad person. If I don't have food, it makes me somebody that needs some help. Give me some help, and maybe I can accomplish great things because somebody helped me. And that's how I look at it. I just think if we can help, then the stigma of things is bad.
Yeah, it really is. It's a tough situation. I had a gal I was talking to yesterday that I just met. She's phenomenal, and she told me and she had a case of mild autism and something else. I was shocked. So she works really hard to get rid of that stigma, to get people over labels, and we have a tendency to label people in our culture. That is
Yeah.
that is just so sad, and that's one thing I fight against too, because having someone in my family who has issues, I don't like that wonderful young man being labeled. It's painful.
It's more to a person than that one thing. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's diabetes, epilepsy, ADHD, autism spectrum, you lost a leg. I mean, there's so much more to people, right? Than just that one thing that seems obvious that and I don't know if it's just our country and our culture. I'm not sure, but I know it's prevalent, and we like to pigeonhole people. We like to know where they are. What box do we put them in?
I know, Donna. Well, that's a perfect segue to talk about what you do. And going from the food bank to helping people, to let's talk about what you're doing now and how you got on that path, because the segue just is there. Let's go for it.
All right. Well, I guess my story is, I spent decades doing the same thing as most women do, right? They put everyone else first. They do everything for everybody. You're a mom, you're a teacher in school, or you're a teacher at home, or you have your job. You do, I know in my house, I was the chairman of the board type of thing. You know what I mean? I was the scheduler. I knew what everybody was doing, and where all the pieces went, and what we were having for dinner, and what we needed on the shopping list, and which kid needed to be at which program and which thing they were taking. So you
Yeah.
learn to be really good at juggling. And, it's probably why later I went into project management, because I've been doing it for years, right? My family was like this little project. And I don't know, I just did everything for everybody for so long. And then it got to the point where, okay, now what? My kids are grown. What do I want to do? Where do I want to do things? And taking all the jobs that I had had up to that point, and I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, which I really enjoyed. I got involved with the schools and did more project managing for them. Uh, put all kinds of things together.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just was like, okay, what is it now? What is going on? And so I got this thing that came across my desk, and it was like, do you want to be certified in whole food plant-based coaching? And I was like, well, that's interesting.
Mm.
Whole food plant-based. Okay, let's look into that. So I did that. And from doing that, I found that I do incorporate that into what I do, but that's not the whole thing of what I want to do. Because for me, I wanted my overarching goal, my mission, and it fell out of my mouth one day. I just seriously turned around and looked, and where did that come from? Is I want all women to feel good in their own skin,
Oh,
whatever it means to them, right? My vision of what you should do or look or how or be or whatever is not what you have, and it shouldn't be. And I want you to be comfortable in your skin. And what that means to me is that gives you, if you're comfortable in your own skin, you have confidence. You know what I mean? And when you have that confidence, you can go out and make the bold steps, right? There you go. I mean, that is it. You have the courage to be confident, and that's a big deal. And, as you know, it's
yes.
you have confidence to step out, you can make the bold steps. And when you make the bold steps and do the bold things, and things that other people think is, oh my God, I could never do that. Well, what happens is when you do it, you're showing other people that it, number one, can be done, and
Yes.
that you can, other people can do it. May not be that bold step, but it will be a bold step for them, and I love that it would create a ripple effect. It's like, here you are, one person just doing your thing, right? I'm just out here doing my thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
right, I'm not doing it for the generations. I'm just doing it because this is my next step. But because it makes that effect on other people, they see it, and then that gets them bolder and stronger. And then it's this ripple effect that just keeps going out. I mean, we can change the world. Women can change the world if we get confident and the courage to do so. I mean, that's kind of where I am on
Ab-
things. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're looking at the whole person, which
Mhm.
we just addressed the pigeonholing. We're not all alike. We all have different likes, and some people can accept themselves one way where I might not be able to accept myself if I was whatever way. And
Right.
but accepting yourself right now, and I've written a lot of blogs about, self-acceptance and that type of thing. I had somebody ask me one time when they read my writers group, actually, one gal said, well, this is great, but you tell me to accept myself as I am, but then you talk about change. Well, I had to stop and explain that, because yeah, I can accept myself right now, right as I am, and still want some things to change. That doesn't mean you can't go down that road of hating yourself. Or it,
Right.
our bodies feel every thought we have. Every cell in our bodies is
Yeah.
affected by our thoughts. So talk about that, because you are a specialist in this area of
It is, yeah, it is very much so that. And then another thing, I'm not going to go deep into it, but it's generational DNA trauma that we're feeling too. So it just keeps going on and on.
yeah.
And it's, and I agree with what you say completely. I like the way you even said it, that, I can like myself who I am and still want more. And
Hmm.
that is the crux of what I'm doing with women now. Because I work like with women in the last third of their life that have done this whole much, right? They get into the two generation, is what I'm calling it now. They think they're too late, they're too much, they're too dumb, they're too tired, they're too, the twos. And it's like, it's not, you're not too anything. And it's never too late to start something that you want to do.
Oh,
And I want to improve my life doesn't mean I don't like who I am. I want to change something about my life doesn't mean I don't like who I am. I like who I am. Do I have days that I look in the mirror and go, oh crap?
yeah. It's like, who is that?
Right? Where did my mother just suddenly appear? Right?
Oh, tell me about it. I mean, oh my goodness. Yeah. I've got a birthday coming up next
Like,
week. So
I thought that was me, but it's like, look, my mother looking back at me, and it's like, very strange. And it's like my hair, my hair was very, very dark. You can't even see the dark anymore. It's gotten so silvery now, but I colored my hair, colored my hair, colored my hair. I mean, I've been playing with my hair since I was a teenager. I just like to play with hair colors and things. But then when I was probably about 25, I had to start covering color. And I was too young to accept it then. I wish I had done it earlier. I was, I don't know, it's been about 4 years now that I just said, you know what, I'm done. I'm done. I like the way it's coming in. I like the color of it. I like who I am with it, and I don't care. And I did the whole grow out thing too. So I mean, that was that was
yeah,
kind
I'm doing that right now.
Mhm.
That's not why I'm wearing the hat, but I do because my hair, I've been coloring it and or highlighting it and having
Mhm.
someone do that. And the last time I was like, it's been quite a while since I've been there, almost a year, not quite, but close. And I was thinking, I like the color that's coming in because I'm getting more silver,
Yeah,
and you can't really tell it on camera. It just looks like it's a little darker. However, I thought if I ever did want to go and have it highlighted again, I might just have them blend silver in because honestly, my mother was full on gray when she was in her 30s, but then the four kids she had probably did a lot to bring that about. I think we were a handful. And she was coloring her hair black for a long time and finally just said, let it go. And she did the same thing. And I think our skin
yeah.
adjusts to the hair color that's natural, does it not?
I think so too. Yeah. I don't I and that was part of it too. You kept kind of going lighter and lighter because my hair was very, very dark, naturally. And so you'd color it that color and it would be like, okay, now it's getting too stark. I don't like it. And so we put highlights in. And then I'm like, oh my God, that's even more time and money. So I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm done. I'm done. And I like it. I liked when it was growing out. I liked the pattern that it was coming in. And
I love it.
now it's like that's all anybody wants to talk about. Oh my God, your hair. And now doesn't look great today, but sorry, people.
No, it
Um,
looks fantastic. I think the way it's grown out, it's natural. It looks very flattering on you. And the red, the contrast with the glasses,
red glasses.
I love it. It's like, yeah, you can't miss Donna King. You just can't. Here she comes.
If
Uh,
you don't know me already, you will, right?
right, exactly.
And I was that person my whole life. I was told you're too much, you're too loud, you talk too much, you do all this. My entire life it was go, sit down, shut up, sit down, shut up, sit down, shut up.
Mm,
And it took a lot to get over. So now it's like I'm not to anything. If I'm to something in your mind, that's your issue, not mine. I like who I am. I am pleased with who I am. Could I change things? Sure. Do I want to? Sometimes. Other times I don't. And I'm just like, you know what? That's just who I am and I'll accept it. As long as I'm not mean and cruel and, just doing things to people that is unnecessary, I
mm,
can get to be who I am. And that's what I want women to be. I want you to be who you are. I
mm,
want you to be the best version of yourself. And I'm afraid that if you listen to that, little voice that's saying, oh, you're too late, you're too loud, you're too much, you're not, you don't know enough, you don't know these things. And if you go sit down, what happens is you start to shrink as a human
mhm.
and you start thinking about it that those things are all true. So you start doing less and less and less. And like women that do that, they'll be the ones that you'll make plans with. And then they consistently, not the one offs, consistently will call you like day before, hour before. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it. No reason, just I'm not going to be able to make it. And it's because they can't. They cannot get out of their own way. Do you remember that old commercial? I have to look it up and see who did it. The body in motion stays in motion. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do. I do. I can't remember who did it, but yes.
Remember, yeah, it was talking about inertia, which is absolutely true. If you keep moving, you're going to stay moving. It's like when you get on a bike, if you start pedaling, you will stay upright. If you stop, you're going to fall over. And it's the same thing when we get to this age where we get to keep going.
Yeah.
And if we don't keep going, we not only shrink ourselves and everything about that, but it's also think about the women coming behind us, right? We have to be out there for them. We have to pave the way. We have wisdom. We have knowledge. We have gifts that if we shine, then they know they can. Like right now, I was reading something like most women, like they really dread getting to the middle ages because they're middle ages, midlife,
Yeah.
not the middle ages. Yeah. Could have been fun. Because all the women complain about it. We all complain. We have all complained. Like our mothers and grandmothers all complain. Oh God, getting old, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Getting old's not the problem. It's the not being healthy enough when you're old. It's not being physical enough when you're old. I mean, there are people that have real diseases and things that are limiting. I get that, and that's not what we're talking about. But if you don't have those things, you can get out and walk. I walk 3 times a week. And my friend and I, we get up and we meet down at the bike path at 6 a.m. Woo! We are in the dark. But the sun comes up shortly thereafter. We have had the most glorious, we're talking about today, I think we've been walking for, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 months now. And that's 7 or 8 months of 3 times a week with glorious sunrises. I mean, talk about starting your day, right? Get out there at sunrise and just watch that sun come up. And here it comes up really fast. I mean, it's like it's up.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, we're closer to the equator, so it comes up really fast and it goes down really fast too. So it's really interesting, but it's so beautiful. And so we want to keep doing things, and we want to make sure that we're doing it, and we're showing the women that come behind us, our daughters and our granddaughters and neighbors, and that growing old is not the problem. It's making sure you're doing what you want to do, that you're fulfilled, that you have a purpose and you're doing what you want to do. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't matter what it is that you want to do, but just do it. So that's what I do, is help women, number one, figure out if they don't know what it is they want to do. And we call it legacy. What is your legacy? What do you want to leave behind? What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah.
And how do you want to live out this last third of your life? Who wants to go sit down? I mean, to me, that's the scariest thing in the world that someone can do, is just say, I'm too old, it's too late, I'm going to go sit down.
Well, I know, I hear you. I worked in a retirement home for independent residents for 5 years. It was a blast. Best thing I've ever done, besides what I'm doing now, of course. But the funny part was, some of those guys were more active in their retirement and stayed busier. And they would say that, gosh, I got more going on now than I did when I was working. But boy, they knew how to have fun. That was my job, to help them have fun.
Yeah.
And to watch people, one lady, I swear, Donna, the epitome of growing old. This lady was still driving at 102, and her skin was perfection. And she said, all I ever used was Ivory soap. Her skin was, you I don't know if she had wrinkles. You couldn't hardly find them, but she was gorgeous and active. And her son lived with her because he had issues, and he was allowed to. He was older guy, of course. She was 102. I think he was in his 50s or 60s. But she did not accept the number. And I've written about that a few times. Age is truly a number. And the more you think, okay, when I get 70, I'm supposed to be cutting my hair. I'm supposed to blah, blah, blah. We have let the supposed to's just kill us.
Yeah.
Literally.
We have. You know what they say here in Hawaii, which I find very interesting? They say, I made, for their birthday, not I turned 60, I made 60, my mom made 90, and it's a pride thing. It's like, I made it, and I'm like, wow, that is really cool. I wish that would catch on everywhere, because that's way nicer to hear I made than your age.
Yeah.
But age, it's just a number, and it's what you do with it. I mean, I've seen 30-year-old women that'll just, they act like they're 95 years old. And then there's 95-year-old women that are acting like 20, and it's all here. It's all what you want from life. And that's what I want women to feel. You know what I mean? I want you to feel confident to go and do these things. How many times you say, I mean, like, I caught myself saying it, not recently, but probably 10 years ago, like, to my daughter, is this too old for me to wear? And she's like, Mom, why are you saying that? It's a piece of clothing. It doesn't matter who it goes on. It's like, okay, I taught you well.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I had my my mentor in my growing up years was my great aunt Hetty. I found her death certificate online recently. That was a shock. And she lived to be 94. That family, all of those guys in that family were 13 kids. Most of them lived to be above 80, but she lived to be 94. She worked until she was 85. Now she was a professional seamstress and tailor at a men's clothing store. You know, Donna, they had to make her leave,
I bet.
and her health declined after she quit working because she was using her fingers and her mind and her eyes. And she was a character. She had hair down below her butt when she died. And so she just kept it in a bun. But the she did not let age define her at any level. Other people tried, but I think I got some of my stubbornness from her too. It's
Good
like,
job.
no, 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 we are not. I don't care what number there is. I still mentally think and feel like I'm in my better than I did when I was in my 20s. Now I've got wisdom.
Right.
I've got that wisdom that you were mentioning. Now, give our audience, and this is a shameless plug, you need to promote yourself. That's part of this. I want you to tell our audience how you help them. You do help women, or do you help men too? But tell
I
us
just work with women. Yeah,
just
I work
women.
with women. Yeah. And the reason for that, honestly, is, I'm a coach. I can coach anybody, right? I can coach young people and old people and men and women and all that. However, I've decided that, what, this is my legacy. So I
Mhm.
get to do what I want to do, right? And what
Right.
I want to do is uplift women.
Mhm.
And what you were just saying about your Aunt Hetty is what they said, and that's it, you're done here. And she went home, and then there's nothing more. She doesn't have a purpose anymore, and that purpose is what keeps you going and keeps your mind active and keeps you
Yeah.
going and all that. So that's what I do with women. First of all, we just kind of do a reality check on where are you.
Mhm.
I give everybody, it's called a wellness wheel, and it's, like, how do you feel you are in all these different categories, and then we look at that. And then, and see, sometimes women know exactly what they want to do, they're just not sure how to get it going, type of thing. Or what should I do? Can I do this? Maybe, I don't know, type of thing. And so we can work through that. But it's also, are you healthy in mind, body, spirit? That is like,
Yeah.
that's the thing of it. You can say, I want to go be whatever, but if you don't have the healthy part of it down, you got to be eating healthy, you have to be exercising at some degree, and you have to have your spirituality, your mental being has to be connected. It doesn't have to be to church, it doesn't have to be to a particular religion. It could be just awareness of who you are and what the universe is, and be part of your community. I think that's the biggest part, because
Mhm.
if we're working with our communities, then we're uplifting women there. So, in a nutshell, I guess what I do is I work with women to help them figure out what it is they want to do.
Yeah.
And then, are they healthy, in mind, can't even talk here, sorry, mind, body, spirit, to accomplish it. And
Yeah.
then when we know those things, then we know what the starting point is.
Mhm.
Then we know, okay, do we need to work on here? Do we need to tweak this a little bit? Do we need to, do this? But when women come to me, they do the work. It's a lot of thought-provoking things. I have them do a lot of different exercises and stuff so that we can really figure out. And sometimes it's like, I have no idea what I want to do. Okay, so the first step is, what do you not want to do?
Yeah.
That one's an easy one. I mean, I was taught that way back, when I was in high school. My friend's mom would, I said, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And she's like, well, you know what you don't want to be. And I'm like, what? She goes, well, you don't want to be a ditch digger. And I'm like, yes.
Right.
So he's working in the reverse, goes that way. So we do personal one-on-one coaching. I do summits where people can hear kind of parts of those things,
Good.
workshops, that kind of thing. And everybody can find me at my website. So
Very nice. And all of your information will be available at the end of the
great.
broadcast, and how people can reach out to you. And you sounds like you do a lot of what I do. And we're all different, and we all need to be approached that way. I customize and you customize. So what we don't do is put anybody in a box or a pigeonhole. That's
No, No pigeonholes here. Yeah.
Yep.
So I would say, for people, if they're feeling this, if they're feeling like what I'm talking about and how it affects them, and they don't want to be affected by that, if nothing else, go to my website. That's a 360balanceliving.com. And there's a free guide there, and just
Right.
download that and, start working through that and see if there's something there.
That's fantastic, Donna. Well, this has been so much fun. And
As
and I got to wear my hat because I pretend I'm in Hawaii. Yeah, not so much. Um, but I am, just a little ocean away. What can I say?
I,
So,
just 6
yeah.
hours.
But this has been delightful, and who knows? We'll probably have you back. I've had some return guests because we have so much fun. They've got other things to talk about.
Yeah, I would love that.
But I appreciate what you do for women, and it sounds like we are on the same page. I'm going to wind up making some new connections for you because I've got some people that we may wind up doing a panel podcast for,
That would be great. Yeah, no, I would love it. The more people that I can connect to their confidence and their courage, I'm that very happy. That's
well, thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to end this. Thank you to my listeners, all the fans of Courage, Confidence, Connections podcast. Janice Debo signing off with Donna King, and be in touch with us.